In this video, I'm going to be doing a comparison of the best-selling 40-ounce tumblers on the market. We're going to be giving you a quick look at all the features. We're also going to be doing 2 tests, including a leak test to see if any of these are actually leak-proof or leak-resistant as they claim. And then we're also going to be doing an ice test to see how long these actually keep your drinks cool and ice in your cup, so stay tuned. Honorable mention, because I think it's really important, I'm also going to mention which of these has the most difficult lid to work with, because some of these lids come off and on really easy and others are like really difficult, and it annoys me. First up, the one that everybody knows about, this is the 40-ounce tumbler by Stanley. This has a twist-off lid, which, spoiler alert, I think is the hardest one to get off, especially as the cup gets hot and cold. This is dishwasher safe, and all these parts come apart just like so. It does not have a rubber bottom. Here's a quick look at the actual lid itself. Some interesting functionality here because there is the option to do a little chug situation or use it with a straw. So I do like that it provides some flexibility in the lid. Next up, we have the 40-ounce Hydro Flask. Now, this one actually has a bit of a unique lid, and I find personally the easiest to work with top. In fact, I can just pop that on and off really easily. It has this nice little bendable straw up here at the top, but this whole thing comes apart and comes out. And like I said, you can throw it in a dishwasher just the same as you can the Stanley. This one also lacks the rubber bottom, and there is no chug cap option, which really I think is the only thing this is lacking. Last but not least, we have the HydroJug. Also 40 ounces, also dishwasher safe. Twist lid on this one. I would say medium difficulty to work with of the others. This one has more of that like flip top straw action going on, but you can remove the straw on the inside to make it a little bit easier to wash. But again, no chug option like you see on the Stanley. However, this does have a nice little rubber bottom, so I feel like it has a little bit more of that countertop stability. Now let's see which one of these is actually leak-proof and or leak-resistant, shall we? Okay, we've got water in these, lids are back on. I'm gonna pop that straw down as intended. I'm actually gonna take this straw out and cover up the chug cap as Stanley recommends I do. And then of course on this one, there is no recommendation, so we'll just see how it holds up. All right, so first up, the HydroJug. Let's see how leak and spill proof it is. Not bad. Ooh, totally leak proof, guys. Look at that. Love it. A+. Now let's take a look at the Stanley. Side action, not too bad. Upside down, definitely some leakage, but not too bad overall. Last but not least, the Hydro Flask. Probably the most leakage of all 3. So far we have best lid, best for leak proof, and best for chug functionality. But let's see which of these actually keeps ice in your cup and your drinks cold for the longest. Okay, so I just filled each of these up with ice and water. We're gonna put the lids on. We're gonna let them sit for a few hours, and we're gonna see which is gonna keep ice cold, or ice in your cup and your drinks cold the longest. Okay, here's our first 8-hour check-in, and I did pre-loosen the caps to make filming easier. Substantial amount of ice left in the Stanley. Pretty decent amount of ice as well left in the Hydro Flask and the HydroJug. Still a good chunk of ice. I would say fairly evenly matched so far. 15-hour check-in. I've pre-loosened the lids as always. A decent chunk of ice left in the Stanley. I wouldn't say like an extraordinary amount. Good chunk of ice here too, but maybe a little bit more broken up than the Stanley in the HydroJug. And then last but not least, the Hydro Flask. Ooh, probably the least amount of ice, to be honest, and pretty broken up. That's probably gonna be the first to go, but we'll keep checking in. Okay, we're now at the 24-hour mark. Let's see what we've got going on here. Stanley, just a little bit of ice, but not much at all. The HydroJug, basically same story. And then the Hydro Flask, nothing. Oh wow, that's crazy. The Hydro Flask didn't even last 24 hours in this experiment, but the water is still very cold to the touch, so it must have just recently melted. As far as the difference here, let's see. What do y'all think? That's the HydroJug, and then versus Stanley. I mean, maybe the Stanley a little bit more, but this is very close. I basically kind of want to call that at 24 hours, say Stanley kind of in the lead, but HydroJug right behind it with a Hydro Flask not lasting a full 24 hours.